Hello, Inner Circle, and welcome to your Heart Chakra Month at the Inner Circle. My name is Penny Love, and I am a love and relationships expert. And I am going to deliver you a little bit of a weird one because even though this is the Heart Chakra Month, Penelope contacted me saying, well, you are a love expert, you're perfect for this month. And then she told me that everybody in the inner circle, they are mainly empath women. So empath women, we are the most loving beings ever. So I don't need to come and deliver you a class on how to love because we love so much. We are the creatures with more love capacity than anyone in the planet. But what I am here to teach you is how to love safely so that you can love with all your heart and never get burned, never get involved in any toxic relationship, and never be taken for granted, and date, safely like a woman, being treated like a woman of high value. Okay, and that I'll teach you how to do this and how to go into relationships with an open heart, but also to do it with your head, and to do it instead of with building up walls around you, with building safe boundaries around you, which are going to keep you playing. They're going to keep you in the game, but they're not going to keep you. They're going to keep you safe. Okay, so you're going to be able to play with fire and never get burned with this system. And let me tell you a bit about my history and how I came to become a love coach. So I was very much an empath myself, but I didn't know it. I had no idea until I was 40 years old. I was bouncing from bad relationship to bad relationship to bad relationship. And, I just didn't know why. And then I was like, back in the dating scene with apps this time. So we're doing internet dating, and obviously it's just not going well at all. The guys that I was super interested on, they didn't want to know about me. The guys that wanted to know about me, I was not interested in at all. And then when a relationship would flourish, I would always get burned badly. I was always getting betrayed by these people, and it's never had a happy ending, never. Until a random person, this person is not in my life at all. She was just a girl that happened to be in my job, passing by in between promotions. And she said to me, she was always very interested in my dating life. She was living precariously. I can't even say it. You know what I mean. Through me, because she was married, she had 2 babies. But I didn't know it at the time. The reason why she was so interested is because she was actually planning to get a divorce from her husband. So she was like, trying to get a bit of a lay of the land through me. And she one day said to me, very, she just mentioned, well, what's your strategy? Do you have a strategy? And I said, what strategy? Just go date. If I like them, I like them. If I don't like them. But what's your strategy? She wanted me to have a strategy. And I didn't understand that there was such a thing like you could have a strategy when you go dating. I was like, well, you go, if you click, you click. If you don't click, you don't click. And she was like, no, you need to read dating books. I was like, what? Dating books? There's such a thing as dating books? Who reads dating books? And she said, well, you need to read them because you've become a serial dater, and this is not healthy for you. And you just, it's just never going to work out like that. And I didn't take seriously what she said at all, because she was not a really good friend of mine. She was just a passing lady from work. But she mentioned a few books, so I thought, let me get these books. And one of the books that she mentioned was called The Rules for Dating. And I tell you, everybody that I mentioned this book, the rules have such a negative connotation, because it's like, I'm telling you what to do. These are the rules. But I tell you what, these rules, I cannot thank enough that these rules were created. I cannot thank enough that the creators of the rules, the authors of the rules wrote this book. And seriously, when I read this book, it was like these women were talking to me. I was the rules girl, like every betrayal, every bad relationship. I was her in the rules. Every example, I was her. And even though that some examples have not happened to me, I could really see myself making the same mistake. If that would have happened, I would have made that mistake, and then I would have been in the position of this girl. So this book it was written about me. It's so much that I really started to study the books. Then later on, I found out that there were more books. There was like a franchise of rules, and they have been creating more books as the times went by. And that first it was in the 90s, then it was like internet dating started to happen, then we had the apps, then we had the Twitter and the Facebook and the text messaging, so they created more books as the times went by. So I studied all the books, and I was like, well, this is not enough. I still wasn't able to clasp the embody the rules girl. There was something that I was missing, and I just couldn't get it right. And so actually I seek the help of a rules coach. My rules coach, India Khan. She was a London girl, so I chose her because I was like, well, the rules have to be different because we are in London, and London girls, like, we have it hard there because London is the most difficult city of the world, right? So I got India because she was a London coach, and she was like, no, like, the rules are the same for everybody, every girl, even if you are in a farm in the middle of nowhere, or you are in London, Paris, New York City, it doesn't really matter where you are. The rules are the same because feminine women, we are, but away, and masculine men, they're all cut with the same cloth. So, which, don't be offended. Yeah, you will know more. I will tell you all about it in a minute. And so with the help of India, I started to do the rules as she was teaching me, and then I realized why the rules were so difficult for me. The rules were about boundaries, and I didn't know what boundaries were. The rules were about self-esteem, and although I thought that I was very confident and very extroverted, and I had a really high self-esteem, actually it was all a facade. It was not true. I didn't have a very high self-esteem, and I was hiding it all behind this facade, this persona that I created for myself. The rule scale is supposed to have a really high sense of self-worth. I had no sense of self-worth, and all these things came to light. So as they were coming to light, then I started to heal each individual problem, and I became the ultimate rule scale. And eventually I contacted Ellen Cherry, and I was like, listen, this stuff should be taught on the school, so I am gonna make sure that this stuff get taught on the schools for every little girl, and that we're supposed to grow up knowing these things, but not like when you are already old and you are 40. You're supposed to learn this maybe when you are 11, 12 years old, just when you become a young woman, and hormones start to happen, and you start to have a little interest in boys and all that. So I really made it my mission to teach the rules to as many women as I can possibly reach. And not only the rules, you know, like you can do the rules, but you need to be the rules, which is you need to be, you know, you have to have your high strong boundaries. You need to have a high sense of self-esteem, high sense of self-worth, a lot of you know, self-love. And I certainly learned to love myself for the first time, you know, 40 years of age. And it was everything, it was thanks to this book, you know, and that I read. There's some random woman that didn't mean anything in my life. I just read it and it was like bing, 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 bing. All these alarms went on and they completely changed my life. And so today I am going to concentrate my masterclass on boundaries, because of course I don't need to teach you how to love. You love too much. So I'm going to teach you how to love safely. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video.